Long ago in Israel, an angel delivered a specific prophecy to a family about a son chosen to serve God. This child was born for a single purpose. He would be the one to rescue his people from their enemies. The strength he would receive was tied to a specific sign of dedication. According to the divine instruction, his hair was never to be cut. Samson's future and his unique capabilities were entirely dependent on his obedience to this one visible rule. As he grew, God's Spirit gave Samson immense strength, allowing him to dismantle enemy opposition with a level of force that no army could match. But his physical dominance masked a lack of internal control. While he could break stone, he could not govern his own impulses. Instead of following the God who empowered him, he repeatedly made choices that put his own desires above his mission. He possessed vast external influence, yet he lacked the discipline to manage it, creating a dangerous gap between his power and his maturity. Raw strength is ultimately useless and often self-destructive if it is not guided by a commitment to walk in God's ways. This internal weakness was eventually exploited by a woman named Delilah, who became the instrument of his downfall. She pressured him constantly, trying to uncover the source of his physical invincibility. In a moment of hubris, Samson finally told her everything, surrendering the secret of his vow and the importance of his hair. The strongest man in Israel was not defeated by a superior army, but by a failure of judgment and misplaced trust. While Samson slept, his hair was cut off. His enemies moved in, finally finding him defenseless. This visual model shows the immediate result of breaking the vow. Once the physical sign of his dedication was removed, the flow of strength simply stopped. Without the Spirit of God, Samson was instantly reduced to the level of any ordinary man. His enemies captured him, blinded him, and took him away as a prisoner. The man who once rescued nations was now a mocked spectacle, forced to labor in a Philistine prison. Abandoning the conditions of a divine gift results in the total collapse of the power that gift provided. Samson sat in the darkness of his cell for a long time, separated from his people and his purpose. While he was in prison, his hair slowly began to grow back, a quiet biological detail that signaled a second chance. In the quiet of his captivity, his internal state began to shift. He was trading his earlier arrogance for a sense of humility he had never known before. The path to restoration often begins in a place of total isolation and complete surrender. The Philistines gathered for a great celebration, laughing at Samson and believing they had permanently secured a victory over his God. Standing between the pillars of their temple, Samson reached a final realization. He knew he could no longer rely on himself. He prayed for strength one more time, acknowledging that God was the only true source of his power. God answered that prayer. As these massive stone foundations show, the architectural weight of such a temple was immense, yet the entire structure fell, ending the threat to Israel. Samson's life demonstrates that true strength comes from God. Physical power is a temporary attribute, but lasting influence is a byproduct of trust and obedience.